Simply Centrell. She will ignite your passion and bring your purpose to life. The strategy she shares will take you to higher heights, improving your energy, spirituality, your well-being, a better mindset for your journey to build a better you. She's on fire to take you higher. She's on fire to take you higher. The Simply Centrell Show.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Simply Centrell Show. We are coming to you a week after some horrific events here in Houston. We experienced Hurricane Harvey, a storm, a Category 4 hurricane that was also a tropical storm that hit the coast of Houston on August 25th. So today's show is going to be a little special. We want to make sure that we are sensitive to the climate and the emotions that are going on in our city. We have all been overwhelmed and we have all been emotional about the experiences we've had over the past week. So much so that we didn't have a show last week. So you're tuning in today. You're tuning into the first show that we've had in the last 2 weeks because everyone was hunkered down, making sure that their families were safe, or even making sure that they were safe, removing themselves from their homes that were flooded with water and other things that they were experiencing. Rescues were happening, things of that nature. So for those of you who don't live in Houston, let me share a little bit about Hurricane Harvey. On August the 25th, a Category 4 hurricane with winds of over 125 miles per hour hit right outside of Corpus Christi, Texas. And then it moved through Houston and the coast of Texas at a rate of dropping 50 inches of water and over 20 trillion gallons of rain throughout the city. It was unexpected and the city will never be the same. There were a number of people that were displaced and the city had to react very quickly. Our mayor, Sylvester Turner, the Houston Police Department, along with the sheriff and a number of other law officials and rescue agencies, faith leaders, and other charitable organizations came together to make sure that the citizens were safe and cared for and provided for as we move through rescue efforts and helping to get people to the shelters that were being organized. So this is kind of amazing because it brought me back to 12 years ago in the month of August 2005. On August 29th of 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, Louisiana. And this was also an unexpected, unpredictable storm. And when I say that, I mean in its mass. It was not expected to do the damage that it did. And unfortunately, lives were changed forever. So here we fast forward 12 years to Hurricane Harvey, which hit on August 25th. And that was a personal day for me because it was my mother's birthday. And of course, our plans changed. So we had to also make sure that we went out and purchased emergency groceries, made sure the vehicles were gassed up, and gas stations were closed. I believe we went to 5 gas stations before we actually were able to get gas in our vehicles. And we were blessed. We had very minimal damage. We were able to do some preventative maintenance or take preventative measures actually by purchasing a pump to pump water out of the drains that were overflowing in our neighborhood and pump it onto the streets. So we were able to do that and minimize the damage. Not everyone was as fortunate to be able to put those types of measures in place. The rain came down so quick, it was so torrential that the flooding waters came quickly. And you'll see that. We had the opportunity to volunteer and to talk to people that have been impacted by Hurricane Harvey. And this is all walks of life. We're talking about people from different backgrounds, different nationalities, wealthy, the poor, so many different areas in Houston and in surrounding areas were impacted. So as you'll see throughout today's show, we're going to share a little bit with you on what happened with Hurricane Harvey, how our city responded, and then also about the thankfulness and the gratefulness of those people who helped, who stepped up to show up for everyone in the city, to make sure everyone realized we were united. We were united in this effort of recovery and response for one another. So we are going to talk about also some of the different lessons and things you can do to maintain your health, your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health as we move through this time of rebuilding. We know it's going to be more than a month, more than a year, as we get back to some semblance of normalcy. Take a look at this interview with two individuals who experienced Katrina and also experienced Hurricane Harvey, and how they still relied on prayer and the goodness of the people out here in Houston to bring them through. So we are here talking with some of my native New Orleanian friends. We have James and we have Terrence, and both of them have experienced Hurricane Katrina as well as now Hurricane Harvey. So tell me, how are you guys feeling, and what have you experienced today at George R. Brown, the outpouring of love and the passion for people that each individual has shown today?
Honestly, Houston was on point. You know, I love my city, but we ain't have no quick response, near this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I lost my mama, you know what I'm saying? So coming seeing here in the area I come from, all my guys seeing 288 under there,
Yeah.
kind of brought me back on
Yeah.
flashback mode. So Houston, man.
Yeah.
Houston did
Yeah.
a lot better than what New Orleans did, because we lost a lot of people. And it was a wait to even, get a phone call or anything
Yeah.
from somebody, an answer. We
Yeah.
didn't get that answer. And Texas got that answer, and it's,
Yeah.
and they doing the best they can there. They feed you good, clothing.
Yeah.
I mean, when I came in, I was soaking wet. But they just switched me out clothes, been giving me my child Pampers. My wife, she pregnant 7 months right now. I went back home to sit in there. So, we stuck in here right now, but we trying to make the best out of what we got to do right now, because we could be in a better position than this.
Yeah.
And I thank the Lord for, giving us the breath and the strength to wake up every day and still make it.
Yeah. So what part of New Orleans are you from?
I'm from the uptown, what they call the Calio Project area, man.
Okay.
Magnolia, the Magnolia Project. In the
Okay.
third wall.
So there you go. And I was living in the 9th Ward,
Oh,
Tupelo and
yeah.
Tonti. So I understand. I wasn't there during Katrina. I definitely understand what you're going through, because my family was there during Katrina and they came here. And you're right. Here we have Hurricane Harvey and the response. We have to give it up to our mayor, Sylvester Turner, because they were able to take notes from what happened in New Orleans. I think that was one of those
things.
things.
They master it, though. They master it, man.
They
Go
was-
Houston and HPD. I started off pushing their cruisers out the water just to get out my apartments. Because they
Wow.
was underwater trying to make sure we were straight. So, I'm going to be honest, I'm rooting for HPD.
Really? What part of the city do you live in here?
In the third wall, but I crossed McGow to try to get here, but the water got to my neck. So I end up, me and another guy I met, we just end up pushing people cars out, saving people. And that's how we got here, through HPD.
Oh, wow. And you live in the 3rd Ward also?
No, I live off of Uvalde, like close to Wallaceville.
Okay.
And it was flooded out around there also. Like the water just kept rising. It was just like overnight.
Yeah.
Because the first night it was good. And when I went to sleep, I woke up and the water was just up. Like cars was underwater already. So and I'm like, damn. And they on TV said we got to evacuate. And I look out the window, they was helping people, the Coast Guards. like marshals, all of them. They was like getting people, saving people, actually bringing them to shelter. They actually brought us to like 3 different places before we came here. Like we went to like 5 different places. They would move you here to higher ground. I guess they were just trying to get you to higher ground, but they did that. They moved real fast.
Wow.
And
That's a lot. I am so sorry that you gentlemen had to experience that. I'm overjoyed because I'm listening to the help that you've received. I'm listening to the fact that you guys are now in a safe place.
You know how much love I got from these people?
Yeah.
My TWIC card, my social security card, my birth certificate, my driver license, everything. It went with the water, the currents to the source, so I don't have nothing but my social is my name. So that's helping me, man. New Orleans, you had to have some type of ID.
Yeah.
Like, they give you a rough time, like, you right, y'all man. Ooh, that boy the truth.
Yeah.
That boy the truth.
There you go. Well, and you have to realize that when things like this happen, you know, we are supposed to learn from our past experiences, and New Orleans was an anomaly. Like, that was unexpected. And here, we were able to track and respond appropriately. Our mayor made the right decisions to make sure that we were not in a hysterical position trying to push people out of the city, because I remember what that looked like with Hurricane Katrina. And then now getting all of these resources to come together and be here in this place to understand that we are all here for one another, all walks of life, all nationalities. We are Americans first, and I see that, and I've seen that, and I'm so glad that the two of you are here. You guys are able to tell us not only your experiences from Katrina, your experiences here, and God bless you. I will be saying prayers for you, my brothers, my New Orleanian brothers, that everything is going to be good for you going forward. I always look at life events as what propels us forward, what pulls the greatest things out of us to make us better. So I'm looking for great things from the two of you. Take care of your families. Thank you both so much. Yes, yes. Don't forget to like, share, follow Simply Centrell on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be right back to talk a little bit more about Passion for People, Houston after Harvey. Welcome back to the Simply Centrell Show. We are talking about Passion for People, Houston after Hurricane Harvey. Very important. You just saw an interview from 2 young gentlemen, still very much hopeful for what's to come, even after all their families have experienced between Hurricane Katrina and now Hurricane Harvey in Houston. I want to talk a little bit about thankfulness and gratefulness and all of those people that have shown up for the city of Houston. There were heroes, many, unsung heroes, I would say, people that I don't know by name, and maybe people that you don't know. Someone that touched you, someone that we saw on the news. I know I spent a lot of time watching KHOU and KPRC and all of the different news stations covering the destruction from city to city. And there were officers that were rescuing people in boats out of their homes that were flooded with 6 feet of water and more. There were individuals that were making chain links and rescuing people out of cars that had gone into flooding waters on a highway. There were so many heroic efforts, and we don't want to forget those. And these are the things that we can be thankful for. As we see life events occurring, we realize how much those things shake us up. And the life event here was the destruction to our normal lives. What's happening with us? What's happening to our families with Mother Nature, something we can't control. And then you see people that you don't know actually showing you some kindness or a smile, coming by in a boat to rescue you, or in a helicopter, or whatever, an emergency vehicle coming down your street to make sure that your home was vacated and that you were safe in a shelter somewhere. And these people may not look like you. And it didn't matter because everyone was focused on humanity and everyone was focused on taking care of one another. And I think that's the part we have to be thankful for. We have to be thankful for and grateful for all that we still have. And all of those people who found it within themselves to reach for the kindest part of themselves, the part that tugs at the heart, that sees people for people. So in the midst of devastation and in the midst of everything that occurred, people lost loved ones, they lost vehicles, they lost their homes, and even some felt like maybe they lost their dignity, or they lost their strength or will to live. And then you see people showing up to show those individuals that life is still worth living. You still have an opportunity to do something and be more, continue to progress because someone is there to help to fill in the gap. And so I encourage you to volunteer. Maybe you have, I would ask you to continue to volunteer. We've done many volunteer efforts here over the last week, and I can tell you that giving back to someone else always helps to lift your heart and lift your spirits. And to see that you have helped someone is the best medicine, not just for yourself, for that person who's receiving. It is always better to give than it is to receive. And in this time, there are so many people that need us to give. So being thankful, being grateful, showing up, and giving to others with your time, your contributions, to those various organizations that are helping to bring relief and bring different resources to people in need. That's what we must do now to rebuild after Hurricane Harvey. This is having passion for people. Houston after Harvey, take a look at some of the different efforts we did to reach out to the community, to help, to volunteer, and some of the things that people were saying about what that means when you encounter situations like this. Hi, this is Simply Centrell, and I am here at one of the many shelters throughout Houston for Hurricane Harvey. This is a distribution center and also a place where a number of impacted individuals can come to get supplies, clothes, shoes, baby formula, diapers, and all of the necessities to keep them going as we heal from the events of the hurricane. I have Miss Jean Lee here who has come to volunteer. Miss Jean, is this your first time volunteering?
No, it's not my first time volunteering. I always try to volunteer where I'm needed and where I'm, can help everyone.
That's beautiful, and we appreciate your service. We know how events like this can really bring the community together. Were you impacted by Hurricane Harvey?
I was impacted some, but not as much as others. At least it's livable. I can live in it now.
Amazing. So even though you had a little impact, you still chose to come out and support those people who were impacted.
Absolutely. And for the 3 days that I've been here, I'm going to be here until they tell me this is it, you need to leave.
Absolutely. And I too have volunteered. I understand how important it is to give back and to give hope and to give smiles and hugs to those people who have been impacted and to do what we can, right? To be of service. So what is the message you think we need to share with everyone that has been impacted, and what have you seen as people have come together to help rebuild?
Well, I've seen where Hurricane Harvey has brought a lot of people together, because I have seen everyone of all nationalities working together, helping each other. And that's what it's all about, because we are just one under one God. And this is what we do. We help people.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Jean. I appreciate that. Miss Jean talking about compassion and passion for people, realizing that we are more alike than we are different, coming together because we were all affected by Hurricane Harvey, and we are here to help one another. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today we're talking about a passion for people. I'm Simply Centrell, and I'm here at the Community of Faith Distribution Center. I'm talking with Miss Angel and Mr. Carl, and they are with A Cry for Help, a nonprofit to help men, women, and children in need. And how befitting on the heels of Hurricane Harvey that we've experienced in the city of Houston. We're going to talk to them real quickly about why they volunteer and what they think Hurricane Harvey has meant to the city and bringing people together. Angel, today you're here volunteering. Tell me about your experience.
Well, it's a wonderful experience to give back to the people and those that don't have anything, because we were fortunate enough not to be experienced by Hurricane Harvey. So I would like to come out and, help sort and volunteer and give things back to the community.
That's amazing. And you were not impacted by the hurricane, so the fact that you're taking your time out to come and help the community speaks volumes. What do you think that means for bringing us all together? Because I see a number of diverse people here today.
Oh, it's a big experience. I've seen a lot of different people here come together, just to help people, because everyone's the same, and some people have needs, others don't.
Very nice, very nice. So Carl, tell me how you feel A Cry for Help is going to be instrumental during this time.
Well, we have so many people that are in need from different types of churches, and also other sources that they have out there. And I feel like we can put in, this is a passion for us, so we can put in our hearts, you know what I'm saying, our soul and our lives for this, and give us that, and then definitely with prayer.
Yes.
And so we're here. So we're here to be able to just benefit from it in a way to where we want people to understand that here we are.
Yeah.
And please, reach out to us, reach out to the community of faith, and let them know that you need help. Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask for the help, because we've all been in a lot of situations before where you got to cry out for help.
Yeah.
And that's what we stand for.
I love that. And not only that, like you said, a passion for people and people needing help. Houston has a number of people who have been impacted. Literally, they have had their homes damaged, their material things taken away, and then yet you come here and you find that there are people who are kind and have given all of these things to them. And then you have individuals such as yourself with organizations that are here to help them rebuild. What do you think the event, this horrific event, has done? What lesson has it taught us?
Well, it taught us more to appreciate life.
Yes.
Okay, definitely. To keep our faith, and to understand that anything can happen to us at any given moment. You and I standing here, we can leave and something can happen.
Right.
Okay, so it consistently, every time we have anything that's kind of catastrophic in the city of Houston, it consistently brings us together stronger and stronger and stronger, because you can see what we have going on here. And as other places that we have now here in Houston, Texas.
That is amazing. And you're absolutely right, Carl and Angel. I appreciate both of you sharing your time with me today. We are talking about a passion for the people. Houston, after Hurricane Harvey, it is important we have all come together, all walks of life, to do the one thing that is most important, and that is to be of service to people as they build from the ground up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Simply Centrell, and I'm here with Miss Tanya Dixon, and we're here at the Community of Faith Distribution Center right after Hurricane Harvey. Now, you are managing this entire operation. Tell me what that feels like.
Well, thank God for all of the help,
Yes.
the team that's working this together.
Yes.
I really love the acronyms, TEAM, together everyone achieves much.
Yes.
And really with the community, the church, family, friends, everyone coming together, it's really making this project work together for the good of Houstonians.
Absolutely. We are talking about a passion for the people. Now, I know Community of Faith is a passionate church, and they are here for the people. Tell me what you're seeing today.
Well, we're actually seeing an ocular demonstration of Jesus Christ extended through the personalities of people.
Yes.
God's word says, by this all men know that you are my disciples, that you have love one to another.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
so what you see here is a pure exemplification of love.
Yes.
Love at its best.
Yes, yes. And so I always like to look for the meaning in things, and I know there are a number of people out there looking for the meaning. We're talking about a passion for people and love, especially with all of the horrific events we have experienced, not so great in the recent months, right? So in this, I see metaphor. I see that God is saying we need each other. We need to depend on one another. We need to have a passion for each other. And it is a reminder of that. And sometimes that's what events like this, life events, give us. What do you think we need to share with people? What do they need right now?
Hope. Hope after the storm, and not just after Storm Harvey,
Yes.
but hope after the storms of life.
Yes.
Racial injustice,
Yes.
human sex and human trafficking,
Yes.
exploitation, abuse in all forms and manners. We need hope after the storms of life.
Yes.
And right here in the spirit of Houstonians and the people here that's coming to the community of faith,
Yes.
you get a whole refreshed, revived sense of hope.
I love that. You are on fire. Oh my goodness. So a passion for the people, hope after the storm. Hurricane Harvey not only impacted Houston, it impacted the world. I am looking for this to be a uniting of people. Not only that, Houston as a demonstration of what it looks like to come together in love. All people, all backgrounds were impacted by this storm, and now all people, all backgrounds, all nationalities are coming together to help each person rebuild. We thank you for your service. We thank you for everything you are doing here. This is amazing. Keep up the good fight.
Thank you. We're going to push through because we have people to push into a greater place. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Yes. So what you just saw was interviews of individuals who were out there in the trenches helping in community centers, volunteering, and also sharing their nonprofits and all of the wonderful things that those organizations are doing to help. Don't forget to like, share, follow at Simply Centrell on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be right back to talk a little bit more about passion for the people in Houston after Harvey. Welcome back to the Simply Centrell Show. We are talking about passion for people, Houston after Harvey. The city has just experienced a Category 4 hurricane, and on today's show, we've had the opportunity to talk a little bit about what happened in the city, and then we started talking about those individuals impacted and those individuals that showed up to be heroes and helpers in the situation. And know that you are also one of those heroes and helpers. So what other resources are available? Besides you and me, there are other organizations out there that are sending volunteers and are opening up their operations to make sure that Houston is taken care of. We have our Mayor, Sylvester Turner, who has made sure to give us updates throughout the days to let us know what's available and where teams have been mobilized with volunteers. We have the American Red Cross that has shown up with volunteers as well. So a couple of other resources I'd like to share with you are things that you can do to make sure that you are taken care of in this time. So when there's a hurricane or when there's a natural disaster and there's loss, the first thing that many people think about is their insurance. So make sure that you have taken note as much as possible of the things that may have been damaged, what you may have lost in the hurricane, and contact your insurance providers to provide them with those details to see where it is that you can recoup or begin to rebuild by submitting that claim. There's also FEMA, and FEMA provides assistance in various ways, including housing and other stipends and necessities to help individuals get back on their feet. So make sure that you contact FEMA, and you can do that via their website. You also have other organizations, charities, such as the American Red Cross, as we mentioned. There's also Samaritan's Feet, and we've shown a little bit of video about Samaritan's Feet, and they have a shoe out that they have provided to over 8 million people in the world that helps to prevent disease that comes through the feet. We do know that when you're dealing with natural disasters, the waters are contaminated with all types of bacteria, and these shoes are antimicrobial, and they help to heal the feet and keep the feet protected, which is very, very important for your physical being, to make sure that you're healthy. So you want to make sure that you check out SamaritansFeet.org. There are other organizations too that contribute to your overall health and well-being. YogaBetter.com is one. We want to make sure that we de-stress. I am a proponent of physical activity. I think that running is also a great thing. Once you're able to actually get back into a normal routine, incorporate some of that physical activity. It's going to help to move those endorphins through your body, some of those things that help to keep us feeling kind of weighed down. We have to release them some kind of way. YogaBetter.com is offering free classes for the next couple of weeks. So you're able to check out their studio, and that's going to help you to get into a place where you can start taking wellness and making it a part of your daily routine and not have to come out of your pocket for it. So those are some of the organizations. There's also faith-based organizations. The Community of Faith Church also has htowncares.net. So they've set up a distribution center, and they're taking in donations. So you're able to go to the Community of Faith, and donate items to individuals in need, as well as go to htowncares.net and make a contribution financially. So that is a way for you and I to contribute, as well as our sweat equity. There's nothing like showing up. As I mentioned, we have done volunteer work over the past week and will continue to do so, as there will be much work to be done. And we encourage you to do the same. Make sure to make a deposit of kindness and make a deposit of your effort by showing up with a hug, a smile, just warm words for those individuals going through a hard time. It will make the biggest difference. And it also shows them that they have another thing to be thankful for, and that's you and I. HISD is also providing 3 meals a day for a school once it lets in for the students there. Now, this is extremely important because many people that lost their homes are now having to allocate their funds and what funds they may have to so many other necessities, and just getting back to life as they knew it before, getting mattresses and bedroom sets and just furniture and a place to put those things so that their family has safe shelter. So HISD is doing their part. We appreciate that. They are providing 3 square meals where some of these children would not have it otherwise. So that's going to be a wonderful assistance as well. Make sure to check out your local nonprofits and websites, your local faith organizations, to see what they are doing and see how you can help. And take a look at some of the video that we were able to capture from organizations that are doing great things in our Houston community.
Thank you for the vision of these shoes. This is the first antimicrobial shoes brought in at such a time as Hurricane Harvey. Tell me what you foresee as your presence and your footprint in Houston now that you have done this today.
Absolutely. I think in terms of like the need, just when you think about the other side pieces of the surrounding areas, that's still devastating. I mean, some kids can go to school. And when they go back to their families, they got to walk through this wall, they got to walk through all this container, they got to walk through all this bacteria and lays through. How can we help provide shoes? Our vision is, how do we make sure everyone affected gets a pair of shoes? To make that possible, we're going to need partners, we're going to need friends, so they can go to Samaritan's.org and say, I want to help provide a pair of shoes for a child. I want to help. So be a part of it, because we want to help as many people, because I'm so grateful because my partners like community of faith. And some of the other folks in the community that's coming along, Congressman, Payne's women. I mean, Sheila Jackson Lee to come along. And then Commissioner Harris and all these good people that come alongside of us. So it's really exciting to be part of it. That we have an army of volunteers in the community of church that will be a part of distributing this to people in all across the city and surrounding.
So we can continue the collaboration with Samaritan's Feet by going to the website, SamaritansFeet.org, and make sure that we continue to push forward hope after Harvey, and not just after Harvey. We're talking about a health and wellness issue for many of Americans.
Absolutely. And this is a problem that's going to be beyond just the state of Texas, it's a world. Yes. We can actually have a long spread, actually zero in that so we can educate ourselves in Houston. We can bless you, but one day we're going to be our future doctors, we're going to be our future researchers. Why don't you help us innovate so we can create more technology to be able to make sure we protect people's feet during the times of crisis?
Where did your passion for people and your passion for driving a shoot like this that had a health equipment, where did that come from?
It comes from me growing up in Africa myself. I used to get parachutes when I was 9 years old, missionary that inspired me to do it. Because of that, I got a chance to come to America to come and get an undergraduate master's degree to pursue a career in technology business. But as we get soon in the world in 2017, people that have the abilities around us, we are completely eradicated by just having the right shoes. So God gave us the idea only comes from the only one and said, I put me in you. You go use the gift and talent that I've provided you. Use your means to turn into a ministry. And that's what we've been doing now. Use the background that came from nothing to say, how can we make it to become something we do? That's what the inspiration comes from.
I love that. God-led, God-inspired. You are a vehicle. We are so blessed to have you come into the city of Houston at this time. Samaritan's Feet. I love it. We look forward to more collaboration with you. Keep us in your prayers. We will keep you in your prayers as you continue to go on this walk to help the world.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Centrell Reed here with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. We are so honored to have you here. I listened to you as you spoke a little bit earlier, so passionate. We're talking about passion for the people, hope after Harvey with Bishop Dixon and the community of faith leading the charge here in Houston to make this a global matter. This is about people. Tell me how you feel having one of the districts that were heavily impacted by Hurricane Harvey.
It is a global matter because this is the most significant natural disaster inside the continental United States, and we are part of the world. We're North America, and so the world is watching us. It is watching us because of the catastrophic event. We literally became an ocean, a sea of water, and God has blessed us that there were not more deaths than there were. I certainly want to pray for the families that are now mourning the loss of loved ones, particularly our officer who lost his life. We're mourning the missing. We want to make sure that they're found. We're concerned about those who are displaced, and we're so grateful for Bishop Dixon and the people of faith who are looking for hope after Harvey. I want to thank the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Texas National Guard, all federal resources, FEMA, and of course the Red Cross who stood up in shelters all over. We work together as a family, and we're so grateful that that family included Bishop Dixon. By the way, it should be noted that Community of Faith opened its doors with no one calling, no one sending out an SOS. It was just, we are here. This is what we need all over, faith leaders all over who have done this. And I want to thank the faith leaders who simply opened their doors. We are there for you. God is in the mix, and I think it is important that we continue to lift him up and to lift these souls up so that they can see a way forward. There needs to be hope. I stand with you. I stand with Houston, and the mayor and the county government, the state government. But now is the time for us to show our courage. And that means when things begin to get bad or unravel, we've got to be there for them. And as a member of the United States Congress, people are my family in the 18th Congressional District. I will be there for you. Thank you, Bishop Dixon, and the great community of faith. Thank you, Manny, and Samaritan's Feet for all that you do. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
So as you were able to see, there are a number of efforts going on to help each and every one of us to rebuild and regain our dignity after Hurricane Harvey. Some of those that you were able to see were Minnie's Pantry. We also had Team Rubicon that comes out and helps with rebuilding of your homes and structures. We had Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee talking about the districts and the different efforts available in Houston and those individuals who are influential in providing support in Houston. And then we had Samaritan's Feet. There are so many others out there that are available to help us. Do not forget to check into those resources. It's very important that you realize those resources are there for you, and they're there for a reason, and they need to be utilized. So please do check into those resources, get the help that you need so that you can begin moving forward. Make sure to like, share, follow Simply Centrell on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll be right back to kind of talk to you about some of the lessons that we've learned out of Hurricane Harvey and how we all can build together from the ground up. Welcome back to the Simply Centrell Show. Today we're talking about passion for people, Houston after Hurricane Harvey. I want to make sure that we kind of recap everything we've talked about today. There is just no possible way in this first show, coming back after 2 weeks, to cover all of the things that have happened with this hurricane, being a Category 4, all of the rain and the waters that flooded the city of Houston and surrounding areas. We just would not be able to cover everything that those impacted would need to know to be aware of what's happened in Houston, and also those who need resources and need reinforcement and need encouragement, to provide it all in this one show. So I encourage you to continue to like, share, follow Simply Centrell on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also check out YouTube. We'll be posting videos there. We'll be posting things in social media to keep you encouraged, to let you know that we have not forgotten what Hurricane Harvey has done to the city of Houston. And we want to remind you that the most important thing in remembering all of these events, because I feel that everyone was impacted. We may not have had direct impact. There was a heaviness, there was an emotion that weighed everyone down from all that we saw and all that we know is before us to help each and every person rebuild. Someone that we work next to, someone that we sit next to in church, someone we go to school with, someone that is our friend or our family member that was impacted. We will have to be there for them. So the reminder is to be thankful and to be grateful and to show up where you can, when you can, and with what you can. To deposit kindness, to give a smile, to give a hug, to be that example, that model, to show folks exactly what it looks like to be a friend in this time. That's what we need. We definitely need love, faith, and hope to carry us forward as we build again from the ground up. And so as we've seen all of the amazing and influential people throughout the city and every hero from every walk of life through Hurricane Harvey in Houston just coming together and saving people that were in flood waters, and even the waters that were released from the reservoirs that flooded those homes that otherwise would not have flooded. We realized that those measures were done to protect us, even though we may not understand them. The impact is still devastating. So we want to make sure we thank our heroes and those people that put their lives in harm's way to protect, to rescue, to provide support. And the resources we shared earlier in the show, those are not the all-inclusive list of resources. Again, as I shared, we are not able to cover every every area that you can seek assistance with. There are a number of organizations, and I'll recap a couple of them here really quickly. You have FEMA. Don't forget to file your insurance claims also, likely before you try to enlist FEMA's help and resources. You'll want to make sure you check into George R. Brown, which is a resource center. It's also a place where housing is provided temporarily for those individuals impacted by the storm and are without a home or shelter at this time. There is food there. I've had the opportunity to serve food there and clean up there. So there is a wonderful environment, prepared, safe environment provided for you at George R. Brown and a number of shelters throughout the city. There are organizations such as Gallery Furniture and Mattress Mac, which I did not mention earlier. There are other organizations such as Samaritan's Feet that are providing shoes for individuals that protect your feet and protect you from harmful bacteria and different illnesses that you can get from stepping on the ground or walking in floodwaters that have mixed with all types of debris. Other organizations that we've mentioned that are doing things within the city, HISD will be offering 3 free meals for students as they come back to school. And then you have A Cry for Help, a nonprofit. The Community of Faith is a church that also has a contribution site, htowncares.net. You can donate there to those individuals that have been impacted by Hurricane Harvey. You can also lend your support through volunteering at the centers that they are collecting different goods and resources for individuals: water, diapers, shoes, clothes, any and everything that someone normally uses: shampoo, hair products, soap, shower gels, feminine products, all of those care products. Those things are being collected at shelters all around the city, and you're able to go and volunteer your time there to help sort those things out. We did a little bit of that also this week. It is very much a need, so please get out and help. And then you may know of different resources also. I've seen it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. A number of celebrities, a number of us, those impacted and those around people that have been impacted, have shared a lot of information on social media. Take advantage of those resources. Pay attention to what people are posting. We thank you for posting. We are grateful that you took the time out to do so. And for those people who took time away from social media, that's important too. Your well-being is important now, probably more than ever. There is emotional baggage. There is definitely a shakeup because of this life event in your mental stability and your ability to just put one foot in front of the other, especially experiencing loss of this magnitude. Make sure that you are taking care of your spiritual side. I want to make sure that you know that there are faith organizations that maybe weren't able to hold church last week, and you may want to become a part of a faith ministry. They are opening their doors for church services or even online church services. We want to make sure that you take care of your wellness, and your health and well-being are at the forefront of you being able to take care of other people that you may be responsible for. So find a faith-based organization online or in your local neighborhoods, and make sure to eat healthy and focus on being thankful. I think that that's one of the big keys. Although you have lost, there are so many things to be thankful and grateful for, and it may even help to write them down. Have them physically in front of you so that you can see how much you have to be thankful for. It is gratitude that will help to change your attitude in these circumstances. So we don't want to take those things lightly. Again, your emotional well-being, your physical well-being, your mental well-being, very important. So make sure that you seek out that help that's going to get you what you need, especially counseling and things of that nature. They're very good for addressing emotions that you're having. That's why we have professionals there. That's why we have those services. Take advantage of them. Many insurance providers also cover those types of things. So make sure to look into that. So those are some of the resources. Again, not an all-inclusive list. There are so many out there. Ask around. Many people you know may know about additional resources. And then let's talk about also some of the different lessons we can learn from a storm, right? We've talked about life events being transformative, and I can tell you that this has definitely transformed me. Hurricane Harvey has shown me how to look at life a little bit differently. We have to make sure that we are taking each day and making the most of it, right? We never know what's going to happen in this life, and we truly can't control things like Hurricane Harvey or any natural disaster. These life events come to shake us up. I think that with all of the recent events that have happened over the last months, the previous years, the protests, we even had an eclipse, and that was an amazing event. And then here comes another natural disaster, all things that happened to us and may have even happened for us. So our outlook on these occurrences is going to be pivotal. We need to look at the things that are coming ahead. So what's coming ahead for us after this storm? Well, one, we have to rebuild, right? I believe it showed us togetherness. It's also shown us how to be kind to one another, how just doing a little bit can go a long way. Even when someone has a lot, a smile and a hug are welcoming. It has shown us that even though material things are destroyed, that having one another and having life and having the ability to breathe and see and be there for one another are still great blessings. So we do need to look at those blessings and those things that are before us and that are still here for us. One of the other things I would challenge, because I have to do the same thing, is to look at this as a propelling, right? Hurricane Harvey has changed a lot of things in our world. The way our city looks, now there are additional jobs that will be needed to rebuild. That is a good thing. I know the reason that we have to rebuild may not be good. New jobs, new reasons to come out and show up for each other are available. We have the city behind us. We have the world looking at us as the example that Houston is showing this global world how to be kind. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Simply Centrell Show, and I want to thank KYND Radio for talk that inspires change. Make sure to like, share, follow at Simply Centrell on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll see you next time.